In the last few videos, I have spoken about Yoga Vasishtha, and I want to share a quote from the Yoga Vasishtha when he's speaking to the young prince Ram, Ram, the incarnation of God. Ram asks Vasishtha, so is it the infinite consciousness that is all this and the world? And if so, is this a dream? Because consciousness appears to be embodied in the wakeful state, the waking dream as well. I shared with you how I spent time in transcendence and samadhi at the Vashishta's cave, and that was my inspiration to write both How to Know God and The Future of God. So here is something that Vashishta presents as a vision of the universe. He says that the universe is a projection of infinite consciousness. And in the Yoga Vasishtha, he describes countless universes that arise and dissolve within this vast expanse. He likens them to motes of dust dancing in a beam of sunlight, passing through a hole in the cave roof. By the way, I was in the cave and I didn't find any holes there, so they must be subtle. This imagery emphasizes the transient and illusory nature of creation. It suggests that what we perceive as reality is akin to a dream. So, in the epistemology and ontology of the Yoga Vasishtha and also Advaita Vedanta, there's a concept called Lokas, and this is often translated as realms or worlds. And these lokas, the concept, is not tied to physical locations in space and time, but rather to states of consciousness or dreamscapes. These realms are shaped by the mind and exist as projections of consciousness, continuing even after death, depending on one's mental state and karmic impressions. Thus, the Yoga Vasishta teaches that the universe is ultimately an illusion maya, and liberation lies in realizing its non-existence, inherent non-existence, and identifying with the infinite, indivisible consciousness that elaborates all. But if you follow modern cosmological theories, and if you follow, say, the work of former Caltech professor Sean Carroll, then the current multiverse theories, such as multiverse and many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, and some of the recent cosmological multiverse concepts, you'll find that they bear a striking conceptual parallel to the dreamlike lokas described in Eastern wisdom traditions, like the ones found in Yoga Vasishtha. And each of these arises from different conditions or states of consciousness. Now, how does this compare with modern theories in physics? Well, in physics, the many worlds interpretation suggests that every quantum event causes a branching of universes, every quantum event, creating distinct realities where all possible outcomes occur simultaneously, but in different realms inaccessible to each other. Similarly, cosmological multiverse theories propose that eternal inflation. Well, I've spoken about this before, the cosmic Las Vegas. That eternal inflation generates countless bubble universes, each with potentially unique physical laws and properties. These scientific ideas support that what we perceive as our universe is just one of an infinite ensemble. So the Eastern traditions describe lokas as not physical locations, but as dreamscapes or projections of consciousness. The Yoga Vasishtha emphasizes that all perceived realities are akin to dreams within the infinite expanse of consciousness. Just as modern physics posits that multiple universes coexist due to quantum or cosmological mechanisms, these traditions assert that innumerable realities arise and dissolve within the minds, or even deeper, consciousness's boundless nature. The key convergence lies in shared acknowledgement of multiplicity and impermanence in both the modern theories and also in Yoga Vasishta's consciousness theories. While physics uses mathematical models to describe these realms, Eastern philosophies interpret them through the lens of consciousness and subjective experience. And both perspectives challenge the notion of a single fixed reality, suggesting instead that existence is a dynamic interplay of countless possibilities. So now I want to introduce an even more far out idea. And that is that in pure consciousness, all lokas exist in superposition, as well as the sentient beings that experience these lokas are also in superposition, infinite versions of you. All coexisting as super possibilities of experience in pure consciousness. And the idea I'm sharing with you aligns beautifully with both the philosophical, spiritual insights of Eastern traditions and certain interpretations of modern theoretical physics. In this framework of pure consciousness, as described in texts like Yoga Vashishta, all lokas or realms of existence are seen as existing simultaneously in a state of potentiality, much like quantum superposition in physics. In this state, all possibilities coexist within the infinite expanse of consciousness, unmanifested and undifferentiated. So theoretically, if consciousness is the fundamental substratum of reality, then it serves as the field in which all these lokas arise and dissolve. And sentient beings like you and me, as projections or expressions of this consciousness, also shift between these dreamlike realms by altering their state of awareness or vibration. And this is akin to teleportation, not in the physical sense, but through a shift in perception or consciousness that aligns with a particular loka. So this concept has a parallel in quantum mechanics, where, of course, particles exist in superposition until observed or measured. Similarly, in pure consciousness, all universes or lokas and the beings within them exist as latent possibilities until collapsed into experiential reality by a specific state of awareness. So, Eastern traditions often describe advanced yogis or enlightened beings as having the ability to traverse these realms at will, suggesting that such teleportation is possible when one transcends identification with the physical body and the mind. In other words, both frameworks propose that reality is not fixed but fluid, and accessible through shifts in consciousness or observation. In this view, pure consciousness is not bound by space-time and serves as the ultimate medium through which all experiences and realms are intertwined, interconnected, entangled, co-arise, and co-subside in the infinite mind of God. As I've said before, quoting Freeman Dyson, God is what mind becomes when it crosses the threshold of our comprehension. If you could define God, it would not be God. And so it is. If you want to continue conversing with me, then check out digitaldeepak.ai. This is my latest book, Digital Dharma, How AI Can Elevate Spiritual Intelligence and Personal Well-Being. Take care, my friends.